like I was gonna say, is it only in like titles that they're not having it, or is it also in
I think they're picking it up in the captioning
algorithm in the captioning? Oh wow.
Yeah. We might as well just call it the Boomer Doomer.
Yeah, the old Boomer Doomer. Man, I'm still a hard advocate for calling it the Wu Flu.
Kung Flu.
Kung Flu, yeah. The Wu-Tang virus ain't nothing to fuck with.
Nope.
Like I don't know, man. Like I'm not freaking out over it.
I'm not.
A buddy of mine hit me up and he was just like he showed us some like prices for flights out of Dallas to California, and he was like, bro, who's just trying to go on like a quick vacation? It was like $50 round trip flying Spirit. Now Spirit sucks. Like Spirit's already cheap and they already suck. You know, but normally those tickets are like $200 anyways. And like I was seeing a bunch of articles on Facebook where quote unquote millennials are like, well, if I die, I die. I'm gonna go on these cheap vacations now. So
we
you know. Oh yeah, we've been live. We have a hard 6:00 rule.
And it's just the three of us, so
yeah, so far I'm sure a few folks will join in. You know, we have those late bloomers in the Stasis Lock chat. Always want to make a dramatic entrance. So I just kind of figured we'd shoot a little bit of the shit before we get started. It's gonna be a quick one tonight though, man. Like there wasn't any news. I didn't want to run more than one topic. And I'm just kind of like ham hogging it up right now. Just like, you know, loving the fact that it's gonna be a quickie.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Speaking of quickies, Dalton, where can people find you at, man?
What was that?
I said, speaking of quickies, where can people find you at?
So, there we go.
All right, good talk. Hey, Peter, where can people find you at, man?
You froze up, so I couldn't hear.
Everywhere at Timid Giant Art.
Timid Giant Art, awesome. Dalton, did you get anything this week?
I got Lyle Convoy and everything from Siege except for Prime and Astro Train.
So you got Lyle Convoy.
Earthrise.
It's a bullshit.
The Starscream's good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. I think I'm just like I'm seeker fatigued out. Like there's just been too many seekers in the last 10, 15 years. I'm just over it.
You can never have too many.
I mean, that's Deluxe. He has them all.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the minority here. Candace may be different. Candace may think that there have been too many seekers. That there may be far too many seekers. Candace.
Oh, seekers. I thought you said sneakers.
Yeah. Seek.
With not sneak.
Seek. Not sneak.
Snacks.
Those sneaky seekers. Candace, how are you doing today?
Oh, good, thanks. How are you guys?
That's good. Good. Hey, real quick though, where can people find you?
Oh, yes. Yes, you can find me. Sorry, on Facebook at Canned Ice Art, Instagram CannedIce.Santora, Twitter at Candace Santora, and YouTube Candace Santora. Boom.
I
think that's it.
All right, so Dalton got some Siege stuff. He got Earthrise or whatever it's called now.
Earth.
And he got Lyle Convoy. Peter, did you get anything this week?
At the original Megatron, but still on its way.
What like the Barney Megatron, correct?
Yeah,
Megatron.
Yeah, I tried to get it for 10th anniversary, but I couldn't find it anyway.
Oh wow!
So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the 10th anniversary stuff, man.
No,
like
I think you froze up.
It's who, me or
no, Peter.
He's fine on my end.
Oh,
yeah.
Huh.
Dalton, you're killing the flow, son. The 10th anniversary stuff is a little difficult for whatever reason. And it's like it's not. And I may be thinking of the Cybertron 10th anniversary versions. Like that brown primal is a little tough to find now. Like, well, I mean, he's not necessarily tough. It's mostly, I think it's mostly the Megatron is, and like the colors weren't really great on him. But I guess it's like people want the little Axelon and the little Nemesis, little bitty spaceship figurines that came with them. Maybe that's why they're so hard to track down. I don't know.
Are you talking about the robotic?
Yeah, with the little planet key, cyber planet key.
No, I'm talking about the. It looks kind of like the Telemoka Megatron. It's
no. Yeah, no, not with the original mold. The one that used the they re-released them with the Cybertron toy line because they weren't sure how well the 10th anniversary was going to do, but they still wanted to get those new molds out.
Oh, I see.
They're basically like they have the cyber planet key gimmicks. They're like deluxe scale, but they were sold I think at like a Voyager scale or a Mega scale or whatever it was back then. I really don't know. Real quick, we got Mike Q in the chat, Juan in the chat, and Leonardo in the chat, as long as Angry Mike in the chat. Bro, Angry Mike, let me just click on the link. We also got Kabar in the chat. Kabar, I don't know if they're up in price. I just know that they're not as, I guess, easily found. I don't know. A lot of
easy
and
to
like
find,
that's
yeah.
It's like I mean it's like the same. Like I periodically check Yahoo Japan like once a week, and there's nothing there. Like it's all super common stuff for like insane top dollar, and used to that was like a little gold mine, a little haven of cool stuff to find, but now not so much anymore, which is a real bummer. But what can you do?
You can shove that cyber key up Megatron's poop chute. That's what you can do.
What the?
You really can. It opens up his
That's
tail.
what
And
it does.
He fires a fart missile. It's really the taint. You plug it into the taint, and then the butt opens up and it fires a fart missile.
I don't know.
It's play gimmick at its best. Candace, did you get anything this week?
I got nothing.
Boo.
I know. Stop.
What did you get this week?
Dalton, thank you for asking. Let's see. Where to begin? I guess I'll begin with what I got today. I got a buddy of mine made some resin printed Dinobot heads. And it's like, it's nothing like just to really write home about. One's like a 2-up scale from the masterpiece, and one's a 5-up scale. The one that's 5-up, I got to sand to get it looking smooth and everything. But the 2-up looks really nice, and I really like it in that gray resin. So I kind of got them to stick them on the Dinobot shelf. I will probably sand the 5-up one to paint, but I think I'll leave the 2-up one alone. He tried playing a prank on me, saying that it was like legit internal use, and I was like, no, it's not. It was like, no, it's not. I also bought a prototype from the same guy, but we'll save that. You guys can see that in about 2.5 months. So,
what's the difference between 2 and 3-up? 2 and 5-up.
Like it's
5 times
one's
the
like,
size.
yeah, 5 times the size and 2 times the size.
Oh, I see.
Maybe get one that you can fit on your head.
I thought we were getting like little green mushrooms. From Mario up in here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
we were actually talking about that. Like I'm really close to like taking measurements of my head and just sending it to him, just to get it painted off, and or printed off, and then I would paint it up, and it would stay on at all times. I would just never remove it. Shower with it on, everything. It'd be fine. It was a really, really good clear coat. Dalton, even in our alone time, it'd be on.
Send pictures.
So, no, I mean, I really wouldn't know what to do with it. Like, I think I'd be too chicken shit to actually wear it. But I do want one that's wearable. Just a large Dinobot head would be too cool. I got the Transformers, the manga volume 1 in the mail. They translated it. Viz Media did, and I want to support it because it's all the Japanese stuff, man. All that supplemental additional fiction that came out in Japan, it's just so hard to come by. And the fact that it is translated now. I think some fans even translated it back in the day. But you can buy it in print, I think is really cool. So I wanted to support it. The first volume I'm not super excited about. I think it's all like I guess like standard like seasons 1 through 3 type stuff. And like volume 2, I think is where they get into like Headmasters and Master Force. And volume 3, I think, is where they're gonna get into like Victory and like Zone, Battle Stars, stuff like that. And those are the ones I'm really looking forward to. So I got the other 2 on pre-order, but got volume 1 in today. Or yesterday. Haven't had the chance to check it out. It's one of those left-handed books. One of them books you read backwards. So
sweet.
There's a manga? Huh.
Yeah. It's on Amazon right now. Just look up Transformers the manga volume 1, and it'll like it's printed like I guess as it was. You know, you gotta like open it backwards and read it from like right to left and all that other stuff. So I wanted to kind of check some of it out last night. I just didn't have any time. But anyway, that it's fruitful enough because they're releasing all of the G1 stuff this year from the Japanese G1 manga. And I'm hoping like next year, with it being Beast Wars 25th, they'll do Beast Wars 2nd, Beast Wars Neo, and Beast Wars Metals. I think that would be super cool to see it translated and things like that. So I hope it's worthwhile for them to do. I know I got something else in. Oh, I got the Masterpiece Lio Convoy pin. So I didn't even do anything with it. I just got it and set it off to the side.
This would have been a perfect opportunity to wear it.
I need to get one of those.
Dude, I'm still kind of sour that they went from coins to pins. Maybe if they reissue, I guess, Primal, Cheetor, Megatron, and Dinobot and get, do pins with those, maybe I won't feel as bad. But then I've got these like random coins and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with them. Like I wanted them to just keep doing coins so I could have coins, but what can you do?
The Lao Convoy coin would have been awesome because I imagine it opening up the Matrix chamber and being in there
on his chest. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Similar to like Primal's coin, the MP32 coin.
Yeah,
I think that would have been neat. Yeah. Brokabar said 37 player. Oh man. Yeah, Mike Q said the only coin he has is Shadow Panther. Like the Primal coin kind of came out of nowhere with the Chinese reissue, or the Hasbro Asia reissue, I should say. The Megatron one is going to be the hardest one to get because it was canceled. And then there's like a copper Cheetor coin that's a little tricky to track down. But the Shadow Panther and the Primal should be the easiest coins to get. We also got Nero and Brother Kyle in the chat. How are y'all doing? I think I got everybody in the chat. So somewhat, I guess, eventful mail week. I'm pretty sure there was some other stuff I got, but it all blends together, man.
You gotta make lists, Dakota. This is why we make lists.
Yeah, this is exactly why we make lists. This is why I need to spend more time on spreadsheets than I do watching videos of how to install underglows on a car that I don't have yet. Dude, I'm going full like 1998. On that thing. As soon as I get it, it's just gonna be stupid. I got the so there's this thing on eBay. It's called Lee's Action Figure Review. It's sold by Lee's Toy Review on eBay, and apparently it was a book that cataloged all the Beast Wars and Beast Machine stuff, and I think it even included Animorphs, but it also included BotCon exclusives for the lines. So I was like, why not? It was a magazine. It was like $17 after shipping. So Brian, our boy Brian in the chat, asked about it like a week or two ago, and I thought he bought it, and I was waiting to see like what the verdict was from him, but he was like, no, I didn't get it. And so anyways, I decided to be the guinea pig just to see what it's all about. I have a feeling it's all just like in package photos, and if it's that, oh well, I got it.
Magazine that you were showing off a couple of weeks ago on the show?
No. That was a Kickstarter, and unfortunately it failed, which really bummed me out, man. Like that really brought me into the 21st century, realizing that, you know, toy magazines just can't be a thing anymore, or at least specific to the robot genre, you know. So I'm pretty sad to hear that that didn't go through.
So you're talking
I still
about
think it would
the
be
thing you posted in chat?
Yesterday, last
I
night.
saw something where the pictures looked kind of blurry or dark.
Oh, no. That's the current Beast Wars guide that's already out, and it's put together like hot ass. So, you know.
So I basically have no
from...
idea what you're talking about then.
Basically, like if you're looking at buying any kind of like Beast Wars toy collecting literature, like let me know and I'll let you know if that's the shitty one or not. I want to try to maintain some level of class and not call the person out that put together that book. But no. The Kickstarter thing, that's the thing that failed. And I hope that those guys like still kind of manage to try to do maybe something digital with it. I still think it would be neat just because I like that sort of stuff. But maybe if they can't get it into print, they could figure out a way for it to be somewhat financially feasible for them to, like, you know, even if it's something where they could run ads, you know, or things like that. Maybe it would just turn it into, you know, yet another blog. But I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool idea and concept. In a world full of overly egotistical toy reviewers.
It's expensive to get everything into print.
It really is, especially like on that kind of a scale, you know, when you don't really have the money to fund it. And I think that's another thing too, man. Like crowdfunding is just, it's really hit or miss. Like it's very hit or miss. Like, you know, you could crowdfund a thing and it not fund the first time, and then, you know, you go back and you tweak it a little bit and it does gangbusters the next time. It's just catching people at the right point in time. And if there's nothing else of interest going on, like, I don't know if people were just kind of burned out because of a bunch of pre-orders from Toy Fair, on top of wanting to do some other stuff with their tax return. I don't know. I really have no idea. But yeah, so let's we all should have watched Home Soil, Beast Machines season 2, episode 6. I say we all. I was gonna say I say we all, but I only watched it enough to get the few screen caps to put together the thing from today, the promo on Facebook. So anyways, Peter, you're our guest, and I'll have you take it away. What are your notes on this episode?
All right. So I watched the whole thing.
Put me.
And I haven't watched. I haven't watched Beast Machines in ages, so this was the first episode I've seen since early 2000s.
Oh no!
You
You should have started it in Darkest Night. Like, I don't care what anybody says, man. Turkey Silverbolt, that was a good episode. Like, I really liked the episode of Turkey Silverbolt coming back. I digress. Well,
here we go then. I'm not a fan of the opening credits techno beat. It feels like a lazy opening credit montage to me. Like, they could have done better. Beat
I'm going to play on the sound system that I'm going to stick in the FRS.
I don't believe for a second a planet older than Earth would have a yellow sun, like in the opening scene. I'd forgotten.
All right, so I don't real. Let me ask you some questions on that. Why not? Like, who says Cybertron was older than Earth? But even if it was, why would it not also have a yellow sun?
A yellow sun is right about the midpoint of the lifespan of a sun. And then from there, it goes into a bunch of different phases. It could go into a red giant, red dwarf. There's a whole bunch of them.
But even if it was like in the span of, like, say, 5 to 10 million years. Like,
I forgot why I thought Cybertron was older than Earth.
like yeah, I was just saying, like even if it's 10 million years older than Earth, would that still is there still some overlap there? Is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, actually, our sun only has about 5 million more years before it turns into a red giant.
And how have like, just because I'm stupid, how have they dated the sun? Like what are they saying our sun's current age is?
It's yellow. So yellow suns are about the mid lifespan of a sun.
Right.
So you judge it by the color.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, like, how long has our sun been around to only have 5 million years before it changes again?
Oh, I have no clue. I'm not a scientist.
It's been around for at least 4 billion.
You kill it. Okay, so but Dalton, at what point? So if it's been around for 4 billion, it's halfway through its life cycle.
Well, the Earth has been around for 4 billion years. The sun has been around through the center of the solar system for a longer than that. Probably.
Okay. So now we're getting into so there's at least some room for overlap.
Oh, right.
Okay. I was just curious. I wanted to, we need to turn this into a learning experience. Broke apart so we get some spins.
How hilarious early 2000s effect animations were. Those explosions in the beginning, they looked more like globs of slime than dust or smoke in space.
Oh man, those graphics are the best. Ugly Fat, what's up, dude? He says Google says 4.6 billion. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Seems like the Maximals have a bad case of confirmation bias. That Bat Kid says something true and was immediately shot down by Ugly Butt Spider.
That Bat Kid.
Yeah, I don't have time to remember all the new characters' names. The only thing more disturbing than Silverbolt's beast mode is that there's Monopoly on Cybertron.
God.
The chicken turkey. Oh, Silverbolt, the chicken turkey, was so scared it pooped out its beast mode. It was.
Oh no!
He was like, "Squawk! I'm a beast."
I thought the same thing, Peter. I thought the same thing.
And then it turned out that the Bat Kid was right, and there was an alien that came to infect Cybertron with plant-based face huggers. I can't tell which mode is Botanica's robot mode and which is her alt mode.
Thank you. Thank you. I was gonna say, man, like this episode really tripped me out for a couple of things. Like, honestly, I thought Botanica was either gonna be like another Savage Noble situation, or was just gonna be like part of the bad guys or something like that, or because you brought up her two modes. Like, I thought the plant mode was the robot mode. I was like, oh, that's why they keep finding her. That it's chicks in robot mode the whole time.
Wait, you know which one's which?
Yeah, the one that's the robot mode is the one where it looks like she's wearing a dress, and she gets bald.
So the plant mode is the one with the frills.
Yeah, the plant mode is the one with the frills. The robot mode is the bald one.
Okay. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
And I had one more gripe with the show. And as a fan of Beast Wars, I don't like the way they transform in Beast Machines. I noticed it throughout the entire episode. It's like this big flash of light, and then all of a sudden they're in robot mode. And I'm like,
it's
really?
Like they morph a lot. It makes engineering toys a pain in the ass, but
it's better than what Michael Bay did.
I would prefer Michael Bay.
I prefer Dalton, not Echo.
Echo.
I'm not echoing.
You are echoing. There it is.
I don't know how.
Same way you
Well,
always
it was
echo.
most notable to me with Black Arachnia when she's got all these daddy long legs, and then all of a sudden, a big burst of light and they shrink into her stomach. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a great way to transform.
Oh, them granny. She got them granny long legs.
Good.
All right, Dalton. Fix your shit.
Oh, and I guess I noticed that Silverbolt doesn't love Black Arachnia anymore. Throughout the whole episode, it was like, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
He is
no more.
such a
What is
dick.
love?
That's all she's wanted. That's all she wanted. Whenever she was like, I need to find my dude. And he comes back and he's just like sourpuss, just doesn't smile. No longer milady.
Oh, he liked that bat kid way more than Black Arachnia. He's switching sides and going younger.
He's trading for the younger model. Silverbolt's like, everybody needs love. No.
Oh, we lost Dalton.
Dalton dropped out. Hopefully to fix his microphone issues. Candace, do you got any notes?
I have a few notes.
All right. Give us the old one too.
Okay. I noticed in the beginning of the episode, Cybertron, well, I guess it could be Megatron's, I don't know. Cybertron's orbital defense system is playing asteroids, so that was cool. It's like shooting the meteors coming at them. So, rhetorical question: where did Optimus suddenly have the space to charge at the Tankor drones who were surrounding him and Cheetor in very close proximity? I just hate when they do that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, it takes like 10 seconds to get at each other, and they were already right there.
Or maybe it's a camera angle. Yeah, it's probably camera.
Oh, it drives me crazy. I don't know. I think my favorite part was when Optimus bitch slaps Thrust out of his way when they reach Britannica's fallen ship. That was the best part. I also want to add that I know some people are kind of whiny about the whole being a plant thing, but I actually thought it was kind of a neat idea since in Beast Wars they used the animal DNA, and so on whatever planet she landed on, they used the plant DNA because plants have DNA. I just thought that was an interesting kind of different take.
Well, they're not just regular plants, right? They're plant-based life forms.
Right.
Well, it's also like that's not a first for Transformers either. And I wouldn't be super surprised if they pulled it from the Rebirth, the season 4 of the 80s cartoons, because those plants, I believe, were like living plants that the Nebulons had to, create machinery to like combat. So it's not unheard of already in Transformers mythos.
I apologize. I have not seen every episode of G1. Far from it. So
It happened, and I did it, and I'm at fault for it.
Well, thank you, Dakota. All right. Yeah. So that was.
Well, I was just like I was saying I agree with you though. Like the whole plant DNA thing is like that's within reason. I thought
different things. So. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to like they can take forms from any planet and whatnot. I just don't think a plant was the right choice. Like I think that's really dumb. I think
technology.
A better choice would have been like an alien beast, like you see in games like Halo or
Hi Tyler,
like Destiny or whatever. Hello.
Oh, wait,
I wish, dude.
I like the Halo idea.
I definitely didn't hate Botanica. Like. Her robot mode was goofy, but like I really liked her plant mode, and obviously it's like
they were the same thing.
No, they weren't. Like one was bald and wore a dress. The other one was a naked plant, so they were very different.
When I saw Botanica, when I saw Optimus Primal, I saw a robot and a beast. When I saw Botanica, I saw a lower form Digimon and a champion Digimon. Like
when I see Botanica, like I see the alt mode as the plant and the robot mode as the vase. Like that's kind of how I like distinguish the two.
Did she describe what happened to her crew?
Damn, Peter, when did you move up to the All-Star roster?
Hi, I exist.
Damn.
That's
Welcome to the big league, son.
So I still
I'm late, by the
want.
way. I got caught up at the laundromat.
I still want a toy of Botanica. Like, despite, like, kind of, it's
Listen.
she's not represented on the shelf, and I need that.
Listen, go to your local grocery store, preferably like a Metro or any place that has a garden center, maybe Walmart, and just go to the flower aisle and just pick one up and fold it inside out, and there's your robot mode.
Tyler, I can't keep something else alive.
Right, like your consistency for your love for Beast Wars. I know.
Yeah.
Aren't there flowers on top of his fridge?
No, they're fake.
You got, like,
Plastic.
Oh, they're fake.
they're
Well,
fake.
even better. Then it won't die. So just turn them
I was
inside
gonna say, like, they're fake
Lies
and covered
on.
in dust.
out.
Celery might work as a good figure for her.
I'm not gonna, dude.
Put some
I'm not
googly
gonna.
eyes on it.
Oh my god! Somebody made a 3D plant. Looks kind of like a bot shot or something like that, or a bot maybe. Someone made one of those on Shapeways, and I almost got it, but like I still want it to convert. I don't want to say transform. Not really. I don't know, but I still want something that goes from one form to the other. But I don't want Transart to come out and like do a masterpiece, right? Like, I don't think anybody's wanting that. I don't think anybody's wanting Masterpiece Botanica yet. Okay, Peter wants Masterpiece.
She'll be the next booty bot. Plant booty.
Plant booty.
Jesus.
Bro. Yo, she got them bulbs though. Am I
Got them bulbs.
She got them 2 lips.
But yeah, I don't hate it, but I do like Tyler's idea. If they would have made her an alien animal or even a mythical beast, we had a unicorn and a planned Cerberus.
Griffin came down and she was like, "Oh, I'm on Cybertron. I have to take this stupid turkey mode, like how Silverbolt did." But then just like a techno-organic griffin, that would have been super cool. But no, we got a daisy.
I still think that if the showrunners had played with that Silverbolt toy just a little bit more, they would have seen that it can have a griffin-like alt form. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, if they like sent over hard copies or test shots or whatever, because if they sent over the hard copy, which I now own, maybe I could see it. Like, maybe I could see, because like all the ball joints were like falling off of that thing. They were probably just like, man, fuck this.
Early 2000s were a crazy time. I don't think they were capable of it.
They're still super cool toys, man. Like, I don't know. Y'all hate Beast Machines and Beast Machines toys and all that. I love the mixture of opaque and translucent plastics. I think it's a good visual aesthetic, and I think if maybe they would have matched the show, or if the show would have matched them a little bit better, it probably wouldn't have, like, I don't think there would have been such a meh about it, but
I think it makes good when it makes sense.
The toys are all over the place though. Like, they don't stand, and Cheetor is like 50 times taller than every other character.
wait, what do you mean they don't stand? I get all of mine to stand.
You
I think visual liberties are fine like that.
Which one are you talking about, Peter?
That Cheetor specifically. The
Mega, right? Not the super big one, but the still kind of tall one.
Yeah, he's got the lanky legs that extend.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I can get it to stand unassisted.
I need proof.
Unassisted?
Unassisted.
Did you fix the joints? Did you use your super glue or your tape method?
No. Only thing I did was turn the feet the opposite way, like they appear in the show.
That's assisted.
That's not assistance. That's the toy itself. That's utilizing the toy's parts to make it stand. Basically,
that's not correct.
The heels are supposed to be the toes. If you watch the cartoon, his toes are like little big thin like slivers. And what's supposed to be the robot mode heels are supposed to be the cheetah toes. You do that, he stands.
Do you pose him in some weird ass way, or is he actually standing?
Tell you what, I'll take some pictures, because he's standing. He's straight up and down standing. I'll take some pictures of him standing straight up and down unassisted, and I'll also take you can't really pose the hell out of it or anything, but I'll still take some pictures, I guess.
See, Candace, this is what you need in a man. I hope you find someone who is as passionate in fighting for you as Dakota is as passionate fighting for Beast Machine.
Right?
It's a fun toy line. It's a fun toy line. Candace, did you have any more notes?
No, that was it.
Dalton, give us your notes, bud.
All right. First note I got kind of goes with Kabar's note about the sun. As it doesn't look very convincing at all. It looks like a yellow ping pong ball.
Does anyone know what the sound a scroll unraveling makes?
Jesus Christ.
No, I don't think he would know.
Wait, Kabar had notes?
I don't. No, Dalton has notes.
He said Kabar.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm just never mind. Go ahead, Dalton.
Yeah, you fucked him up for the rest of the night, Tyler.
The shuttle is the same model as the Autobot shuttle from Nemesis Part 2, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
I thought so too.
And I don't get why there was a Monopoly joke. Do they even know what Monopoly is?
Yes, Peter already mentioned that.
They share a brand with it.
Did Thrust flip Primal off when he had them surrounded?
Oh.
Oh, dude, he probably
He just
did.
had the one like finger flap pop up, and that was it.
That's why he bitch.
Yeah, I don't
slapped
think he
me.
was pointing.
Nice.
I don't think he was pointing. Yeah.
The inside of the ship really gives off some like Dead Space or Flood vibes with all the vines and just kind of horror type nature. We got Plant Wars. Yeah, new subline to Beast Wars, Plant Wars.
Yes. Dakota's face.
Jesus Christ. Like
Come on, Dalton.
I
I know you're wanting to. Come on, man.
Botanica's robot mode looks like one of the aliens from Independence Day.
Oh, that's a Dalton note.
It does, though.
I'll give him that. It does look like that. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's still a Dalton note.
The protoform that scans that weird little Venus flytrap has depth charge his head.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that looked kind of familiar.
And I got to say that ship mode for Megatron, the Mega Bolt, is fucking cool.
I'd love to have a blimp of my head just flying around the city. Like, just someone. If someone would print my head on like a hot air balloon, and just let it kind of go.
That one was.
I think that would be super sweet.
Behold me. His face.
And that's it for notes.
So we have an Air Force base here, and like I feel like if the wind carried it just right, watch a couple of jets just shoot that thing down. I think it'd be really, really awesome. You're like, there I go. Just play taps while it's like falling. Anyways. All right. Tyler, you got any show notes? Any episode notes?
No, I don't think so. I didn't watch the episode. I was doing laundry today and kind of just got caught up in the day.
Would you have if you didn't?
What was it? As a father, you didn't watch the episode?
Yeah, as brother Kyle would say, as a father. But whatever. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. It's fine.
I mean, I kind of came to this like revelation the other day. I mean, we were talking about it in the Stasis Lock chat, but like, I think I would be okay if Beast Machines was completely retconned. Like, it's fine, and it is a good story. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but I feel like in order to build off the Beast Wars universe, I feel like just remove Beast Machines and in its place just start from that alpha point where it started and write something completely different.
I agree.
You got like at least like 600 years of story to play with between Beast Machines and Hoist the Flag, and then you got like another 1,000 years of story to play with, and then you got tens of thousands of stories. It's it's the BotCon 2014 story. Yeah, I mean, there's still like Beast Machines can still it takes place in the Earth year, I believe 2984 was the Earth year. And Beast Wars takes place 300 after the end of G1, give or take. So 2305, 23, somewhere around in there.
And Beast Machines take place 600 years after that?
No, Beast Machines happens basically within like a few weeks. Or maybe it was months. Don't quote me on it because I can't remember it offhand, but I think it was maybe a few months after the Axelon and the Dark Side departed Cybertron. So everything was pretty straightforward and linear. Like as soon as the Axelon disappeared, like a few weeks goes by and then the attacks start happening on Cybertron, and then that's, I think, a month or two goes by and they find out that it's Megatron. And then by that point the planet's taken over, and then the Maximals from the Beast Wars. Like, so he fell on Cybertron before they did, obviously. But it was all within months, like no more than a year or two, the events that happened there. But like with all that stuff still kind of happening, man, there's still plenty of time to tell stories, because after Beast Machines, you have like the universe thing happens, and that doesn't last very long at all. And then you have the hoist the flag stuff, and then if you're still in the Shockerak timeline before it gets wiped, that happens like, I don't know, in the 3300s or something like that. And then I guess once that doesn't happen, there's still like between the end of, let's say, Universe and the beginning of Japanese Beast Wars, there's like tens of thousands of years of just stuff to play with there. So that, like, I think that you could do a lot more to bridge the gap between Japanese Beast Wars and the American stuff.
My idea isn't to bridge the gap with Japanese Beast Wars, though.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. Like, to be fair, like, let me real quick to clarify. Like, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying there's so much time in between. It doesn't necessarily need it, but it could happen, or even a concentrated like cluster of stories could go down. Between then, like there's, like I said, there's still thousands of years of untold stuff to play around with.
Yeah, I guess so. I think we need a fresh, like almost like a reboot from the Beast Machine age. Like, I still think Beast Wars should have happened the way it happened. Everything that exists in it. But I think from the time they left Earth to go back to Cybertron and the first episode of Beast Machines, I think from the first episode of Beast Machines on should be wiped, and they should just start anew and write a totally new story that can continue to go onward without the end conclusion that we got, which was, Primal sacrifices himself, and the world's all green now for whatever reason.
I think because I'm so like married to the idea that I think the story is perfect as it is, with all the additional stuff out there, all the supplemental stuff. I would rather them just start brand new. I'd rather them just do 100% brand new. Beast Wars and everything.
Oh, I'll take brand new too. Like,
yeah, I would want 100% reboot. Like, from that point, like, I'm not super sold on the idea of split a splinter continuity or whatever. And it happens, and I know some of the stuff that I talked about, some folks could argue like that too is splinter continuity or whatever, but I don't know. I'll be honest. I think the Ascending and the Gathering was like what gave me enough of that feel, where I was like, let's just get something brand new,
Yeah.
That was just me though.
I just think the finite ending of Beast Machines was like, I think honestly it was the ultimate deterrent to the continuity, because it was G1, then Beast Wars, then Beast Machines, and it was like a continued thing. And like, you could have built off it if you left the ending open, but what they did was they just changed the whole landscape of what Transformers could be going forward from that point. And I feel like that was the biggest mistake that Beast Machines ever made. Like,
I disagree, because they left it open to build upon with like what they wanted to do with Transtech, and some of those ideas from Transtech got reused into Armada, which was the first kind of real reboot. And like I know some folks will say RID and Car Robots isn't, but I kind of live and die by that. In Japan, it's still part of the continuity, and I still think it's part of the continuity. But yeah, I don't think it's a a finite ending. I think it was just another endpoint.
So, does Cybertron have trees and stuff in future, like comics and whatnot?
We only got to see it in, I think, Universe, the 3 issues of Universe, but it was metal, and it had like greenery on it, but then it ended up during the start of the Japanese timeline. The Blue Big Convoy manga is what essentially explained away and took it back to being a metal planet. It was something like Vector Sigma did, because Vector Sigma knew that Unicron was coming back, and so it was like, well, we need to prepare the planet, so we need to make it all metal. Basically, like in a nutshell, that was that.
So essentially, the whole sacrifice of Optimus Primal and killing Megatron was for nothing.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
Well, it was as soon as they were both revived in the universe.
See, and this is what my point is with the extended fiction. I know you're a big fan, and I don't want to shit on it for the sake of shitting on it, but like with the extended fiction like that, and your one-off comics and your packaged in toy comics and all that kind of stuff, which ties everything together with air quotes I'm using, like that to me is so cheap. Like a story shouldn't be told that way, and it shouldn't. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't think Machines should have ended the way it did. I don't even think it should exist the way it does, because it did. It did wrap it up, and now through, I don't know if it's good writing or not, but unnecessary writing, they have to write it out of whatever and just completely make every single point that you made moot in order to just get back to, now we gotta be metal and fight robots and cars and planes and shit.
See,
like,
and we disagree with on a lot of things, and one of those things is like you want everything to be told right then and right there in the format that you're used to it being told in. I know, like at least as far as I've known you, like you don't particularly care for supplemental fiction, and like that's just, I mean, and that's all well and good. Not everyone does, not everyone should.
I don't disagree with supplemental fiction. I disagree with supplemental fiction being necessary to know the entire story.
But I mean, I disagree, man. Like I definitely disagree there, because like there's no way you could get the amount of story that we've gotten without supplemental fiction. Like there's no way.
If there was an ongoing story, if it was an ongoing show, an ongoing fiction.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. That's an unrealistic expectation.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be unrealistic. I feel like it's unrealistic because of the direction they took in Beast Machines.
No, it's unrealistic because that's just because Hasbro didn't want to rather keep an ongoing continuity. They thought it was pointless to do.
Why do you think they decided to not do that, though? I feel, just my opinion, but I feel like it has to do with Beast Machines failing and them being like, them not being fans, them being investors or whatever, being like, oh, this continuity is not working anymore. Fuck it, we'll refresh the brand.
I think what it was well, and I don't want to say I know what it was, because I mean we won't really know, but what I've heard, I should say, is it was mostly a kind of like a combination of a few things. Like a lot of it was, new designers coming on board, and they wanted to make their mark. They wanted to do their thing and make their mark, and they didn't want to play off of old designers' toys, essentially. They wanted to have their own toy box, and they wanted to play off of their new stuff. That's where you got stuff like Armada coming back, because now you've got this new team wanting to outshow the last.
Is it
So,
just me, or
okay,
did
we're
they
gonna do
hear-
this, we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna
You're
leave
cutting
this in
out
the
on my end.
dust.
Oh yeah, it's
And
cutting
that,
out all over.
to my understanding, is what happened. I think you only have like maybe one or two designers that stayed around from. Okay.
Wonderful conversation.
All right.
Is it just me and you now?
Oh, he's spinning.
Oh no, our sponsor from Blackout and Shout is going to be exiting.
How's it?
Oh.
How is it now?
That's a little bit better. Did you
I'm
turn off?
paid for by Blackout. Did I do what?
Jed.
That's funny. Did you turn off your LimeWire?
Oh. No, of course I didn't.
LimeWire. Oh my god. Wow.
Is Tyler on a delay now?
I don't
Am
know.
I
Am
on
I?
the delay now?
No, you both
Am I on
sound
the
pretty good to me.
Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. I think you're
yeah,
real
fuck
fine.
StreamYards. Anyways, yeah. So I don't think it was at all to do with Beast Machine's quote unquote failing. I still don't think it was a failure. I think it was just the new design team wanting to go a different way. Again, that said, if you just read the universe stuff, or if you can find the universe stuff to read it, I have since removed all of mine from my drive. I guess it'll go back up when it goes back up. I think that supplemental fiction is the way to bridge gaps.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think the issue being is like we just didn't really have anything to kind of continue on, with the exception of all these years later finding out that indeed Beast Wars 2nd and Beast Wars Neo take place tens of thousands of years after Beast Machines, when originally, back when all that shit was coming out, people were like, oh, this takes place between the two. And that was just a common misconception. Despite like fans that speak Japanese could have easily just been like, no, they say this is tens of thousands of year old planet Earth, essentially. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
I will agree to
Brother
disagree.
Kyle says I was a Kaza guy, and I used Kaza. Kaza was the first thing that gave my computer AIDS, and then Kazalite. Anyways, Kazalite, and then Morpheus gave it AIDS next, and then BearShare, and then LimeWire. I fucked that computer up so bad just because I wanted some free music.
I had a different client for everything that I wanted. So like LimeWire was like my music and like my live show videos and stuff like that. I had, what was the other one? It was LimeWire.
At the time, I was super into music, so it was nothing but like music videos and like the occasional bootleg movie. But it wasn't really too wild because I was still on dial-up, so I'd have to like start the download and then come check it the next morning before school.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out what the other one was called, but essentially I had one for music and like music-oriented stuff. I had one for movies, like good quality movies, and then I had one for porn. And I did it that way. I had to do it that way because my mom was illiterate when it came to technology, so I hid the one client far away that she couldn't get in. And the other ones are like, Mom, you want to download some music? Use LimeWire. Okay.
I remember Napster.
See, dude, by the time I got into it, Napster was already like legal. Like Napster was the deal where like you paid for the downloads instead of get. Oops. Yeah, no, I didn't. I think I ended up downloading an older version of Napster. that also gave my computer AIDS, but it was around the same time of like having causal light that it really didn't matter.
Jeez, you got super AIDS on that computer, huh?
Mm-hmm. Dude, I gave it everything under the sun except for a good antivirus software. No, I take that back. We had Norton installed for like a year, and even like, dude, Norton shit the bed. Like, as soon as all those LimeWire downloads started coming through, Norton was like, "I'm out of this, fam." Like, Norton was like, "I ain't dying with this computer." It didn't help at all. Screw Norton. It was the paid for version of Norton too, because remember that was the big deal. Like, oh, get you some free virus protection. No, don't. And even if you pay for it, like, don't do that. I don't know. But you know, what can you do?
Used Bear Share. But have you guys heard of Nutella with a G?
What?
No.
Yeah, apparently that's a client like LimeWire. Apparently these are still big in, I guess, 2019. There's the 10 best alternatives to LimeWire because peer-to-peer sharing is a thing.
Yeah, I don't have good enough internet security for those things anymore.
I remember getting FrostWire and thinking it would have been different from LimeWire, and it's still putting me down.
Oh, I remember that now. Or Kazaa or whatever. I remember that shit.
I had some weird bear thing. I can't remember what it was
Bear
called.
Share.
Oh,
Bear Share.
I had that.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gave my computer AIDS.
Yeah. It's Candace, what illegal downloading software did you use?
This is really
illegal.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh.
I didn't know.
No, we had Napster first, and then I remember getting into LimeWire, I think around college. But then after that, I was like, "Oh, this is bad. We shouldn't be stealing music." So then I stopped.
Yeah. I'm the same way now too. I only pay for music because it is past the statute of limitations from whenever I used illegal music downloading software.
What?
But only I pay.
Really
I only pay for
I never heard of the other ones you guys mentioned. Never heard of those.
I pay for it now only because it was iMesh. iMesh was my porn one. I remember the Ladybug.
Jeez.
But no, I started paying for it now because I think I've enjoyed enough free music
Why are you
for
paying
like
for porn?
15 years, I guess.
Porn is
So
free.
I remember back when you had MP3 players that could only fit like 64 megabytes. Man, I crushed those 12 songs.
I pay for music now because I got all of the music I ever wanted and will ever want for the rest of my life. Like around the year 2009. So anything after that I've bought, but there's not much. I haven't bought much because like I don't give a shit about anything that came out after 2009.
I pay for Spotify. I don't actually buy a lot of physical music media like CDs and stuff. I'll only buy physical music like CDs and other merch when I'm at live shows. Otherwise, I don't even bother because shipping to Canada, like there's metal band. Look, I'm gonna get on my soapbox. There's a metal band from Canada that has merch that uses a US client, and their shipping is like $38 to US to me.
Wow.
And I'm like,
man, they want that strong dollar. They want that strong dollar for their product.
Way like you could ship it to me for peanuts, but instead you want to put money in America's pocket.
Yeah, they want part of the freedom units. And
I'd definitely I'd have to get a big chunk of any of that shit.
Well, American dollar is still stronger than the Canada dollar. I must have checked.
Yeah, I'll go to a live show, the Carnifex show. I spent like almost $300 on merch there.
Jesus.
I know it's going directly to the musicians.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you played live shows. You ever
but we never sold merch. Like that wasn't our thing. We showed up, we played, we got the fuck out of Dodge. That was all we were interested in. We weren't interested in like shirts and CDs and all that. Like we never recorded anything. We never printed out anything. We never did any of that. Like that was pretty much it to the extent. Like we were dumb musicians. We just did it for fun.
That's kind of where I'm at now. Like I'm a dumb musician doing it for fun. If I ever get around, like I've been talking to Mike about like doing something too, kind of like the covers we did. But I don't know. I actually got into a troll session on one of my KO posts, and I was talking to this like fat metalhead with spacers and a pop socket on his phone, and he's trying to tell me how metal he is, and he opened for all these bands and shit, and. No, man, it's funny to see now that I'm almost 30. People are still 30 trying to live that dream of becoming a successful death metal band screaming about abortions and shit.
Well, I'm 30 and still talking about putting underglows, sound systems, and loud exhaust on a sports car that I'm going to buy in July, August. So,
yeah, but I mean, you're not trying to make it into the mainstream with that.
Oh no, that's true.
Oh, no.
I won't even. I'm not even going to do like anything video related to it. Like I'm just going to have it. You know,
Tyler's not 30 yet.
No, man, I'll be 30 in October.
I'll be 29 in July. So
you're ahead of me in life.
Wow.
Peter, how old are you?
I'm almost 31.
Oh.
Oh God, I'm the oldest one on here.
Oof.
Wow. Candace.
Who can say where the road goes?
Oh. Candace,
all right.
You got to be pushing like 26 at least. No, that's
plus 10.
Someone's scoring brownie points.
26 plus 10.
Speaking of brownie points,
you
should follow us on our social medias. You can follow us on Instagram, StasisLockPodcast, Facebook.com/BeastWars, Twitter.com/StasisLockCast, StasisLockPodcast@gmail.com is where you can reach us for any questions or feedback you have about the show. And you can always join our group, the Facebook group, Beast Wars group, the Beast Wars Society on Facebook. It's a buy, sell, trade, and discussion group. Join now.
Butchered.
Oh yeah, I definitely messed it up. We got a light news week. I'm on slide number 4 of 7.
There's number 5.
For at least the next 10 weeks, give or take. Don't forget about the Ultra Gear Stasis Lock photo op. Bring your masterpiece cheat order to Pete's Robocon, June 5th or 6th, 2020 in Louisville, Kentucky for an epic galloping gyroscopic gathering of the most open cheat orders in one location. Moving right along.
I can't wait for what the ROC does with theirs.
So, hopefully they'll have a convention, because I know they're I think it's still kind of up in the air for what's going to be the quote unquote East Coast Midwest show in the fall. So,
is that Injector?
Yeah, so this is the new the Transformers Cyberverse cartoon. Apparently, it's they dropped Cheetor in I guess a year or two ago, and then apparently they had some air hammers, which they didn't really look like the Fusor air hammer, but then they go and do this, where in one of the episodes they put a horde of injectors. So I don't know if this is a good sign of things to come for Beast Wars on the horizon, but whenever something so niche as Injector gets thrown into what's I guess considered the mainline cartoon, I feel like they're trying to groom the current and maybe even future audience into a Beast Wars world with stuff like this. And I like the fact that it's troop builders, a group of injectors. So there they are attacking Grimlock.
Is that Pop from Pop-Tarts? Why does it look so familiar to me?
I think it's I think that's the network or something like that. Because these are I just grabbed these screenshots from Dame Shock. Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of the animation, but I am a fan of them using obscure Beast Wars characters in current stuff.
That shit looks like trash.
I agree.
Obviously, this isn't the show for us, right? I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say we're not all crazy about Cyberverse.
I mean, they're all geared towards kids, and we're all pushing 30 or over, so whatever.
Well, Prime was geared towards adults and kids, and I still can go back and watch Prime with enjoyment. minus the human element in that show.
I just found
But
out Prime
I
had
still-
a season 2.
Dude, Prime had 3 seasons and a movie.
Yeah, I only saw Netflix stuff, and I thought that was it. I was waiting
Oh,
for
me too.
more seasons
Really? There's
to come.
more?
Yeah.
There's 3 seasons.
God,
There's 2 seasons of Prime, the Beast Hunter season, and then the
Oh,
movie.
that's right.
Wow.
I didn't know there was a movie. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what the movie was called. It was
Predacons Rising.
it was Predacons Rising. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Damn.
and it takes place after season 3 / the Beast Hunter season. Dude, Prime was such a great show. So, anyways, like I don't know. Do you guys think I'm and other folks are reading a little too much into it, that we may be on the verge of some more Beast Wars stuff happening? Or
I mean, so John Warden did say that there are plans for the Beast Wars 25th anniversary. So I'm worried that this is it. Could you imagine? But no, honestly, I don't know, man. I think maybe this is kind of leading up to something, or it could be leading up to something. Who knows? But I'm excited to see where it goes, because like if it's something good, then I'll be in. If it's something bad, then I'll just be out. I don't care. Like pretty much, if Beast Wars doesn't have a revival, I'm out on everything except for Masterpiece. And then even then, like I'm on my way out of the hobby as it is already as a collector, just because like my life is shifting and I have to move soon and just a whole bunch of shit.
You got a son now, though. Like, you could totally play with toys with him.
Oh, my Beast Wars stuff is sticking around, but like all the extra stuff, like all the stuff that I just pick up at random, like all my video game and comic book characters and all the shit that's just kind of filling the void until Beast Wars is revived or dies. Like, I don't really need any of that, you know?
That's fair. Kabar said he heard on the Slag podcast that Cyberverse will end this season, and combined total of all 3 seasons was less content than Beast Wars season 1. Wow. So I'm really hoping, man, that like they don't go like full on, Adventure Time with the next Transformers, the next mainline Transformers stuff. Like my buddy in like that lives local to me, like he's got a son and all that, and he's like, bro, I love Adventure Time. I was like, you are like a soulless father.
Wait, I love Adventure Time.
You are a soulless father.
Chad in the chat says, follow us on social media to get trolled by Tyler. So if you go and follow the Blackout Shout guys, go follow their page, because they're getting dangerously close to being overrun by us. Follow them, and then all of your G1 needs, I will shit on you for, because F you. I'm trying to watch my mouth. I haven't done a good job.
It's a work in progress.
Isn't he the next main line, though?
I haven't said the C word.
Well, it's the next, I guess, collector-oriented mainline. Like, I don't know. I mean, I consider mainline to be whatever has a cartoon attached to it. And like, while Siege is getting a Netflix thing here pretty soon, I don't really consider that a cartoon attached to it. Not like Cyberverse has, something that's gone on for 3 years, or like Prime, or like animated, so on and so forth. I've always considered, like, despite Generations, being mainline, and even Studio Series to a degree, I don't consider them as mainline as like Cyberverse.
Cyberverse is on Netflix, isn't it?
RID 15 was on Netflix. At least the first season was for a minute. So
What's your point?
I don't know. Well, something was said a minute ago that really would have segued into this pretty well, but I can't remember what it was, and I failed to capitalize on the moment. But our topic for tonight, the G1 vintage Walmart reissues, seem to have not done so well. I mean, there were a few that did good, but then like most of them ended up hitting clearance, like stuff that shouldn't have hit clearance, like Hot Rod and Optimus Prime. I know Soundwave hit clearance. I think the tapes all hit clearance. I think Devastator was probably the only one that did really, like, I guess it performed as it should have. Would you buy vintage packaged, commonly found Beast Wars, because that's what these G1 reissues were, or would you only be in if it was something unreleased or hard to find, or maybe a new show accurate deco? Peter, I'll go with you first.
I wasn't paying attention, but I'm in for everything.
Sweet. So either way, you'd be in. Candace, what about you?
I would probably be all in, but like maybe specific characters.
Yeah, so if
like
they went like
show
tried and
character.
true with like Primal
Yeah.
or something like that, yeah.
Red Trap
Even-
and Cheeto and Rhinox, yeah.
Even if they were like no different in deco from the ones that like you already have, just something to kind of go in, you see it on the vintage card, and you're just like, oh sweet, you pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beast Wars.
Mike, you there?
Mike.
He's not there. He's just here, but he's not here. You know.
Imagine
Tyler, what
wanting to listen to the show in live time instead of just waiting for the. Just stream it. What are you doing? Maybe his wife's like right in the middle of the rinse cycle of the fucking dishwashing or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
So I think I'd be in. It all depends, man. Like I would want new decos at least. Like if you're gonna use vintage toys, give me like new colors. You know what I mean? Even if it's the same characters, give me new colors. Give me a Daddy is talking. Give me a bright blue shark instead of the bluish greenish one we got with Cyber Shark. Give me a black wolf. Give me with Wolfang. Give me Canine as an all black dog. You know what I mean? Or like go crazy with and do some like not supernatural, but like I don't know, do some like godlike beasts. I don't know. Just give me different new fresh decos and like keep the same names or I don't give a shit. But like I just want go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kabar said I'd buy the heck out of Transmetal and Transmetal 2 reissues. With the old box art, I wouldn't go for season 1 reissues. Like
Kabar's
a carded Transmetal 1.
That's my favorite, and he hates me.
To be fair, I think he's saying it because Transmetal 2 is my favorite, and he like really respects me. So, anyways, he said like a carded Transmetal 1 Cheetor for not $60. I'd be all over it, and that, man, I think that kind of changes my answer because at first, like I was like, man, I already have all the toys. I got no use to pick them up again with not like a changed deco, like a show accurate deco on say like Scorponok. Yes, any of the unreleased decos or the pre-production decos or whatever you want to call them, 1,000 times yes. But if it was just like Pterosaur as he was in 1996, no thanks. Primal, no thanks, already got it. I got 2 of them, and they both are adequate enough to do the job. But now that Kabar mentioned something about Transmetal and Transmetal 2, like there are some of those figures that the chrome is not the best on, and I would love to have a backup. Obviously, I would not be opposed at all to a green Ramulus or a blue Optimus Minor. Even though I have them, I'd like to, I'd like to know that like those reissues are coming, right? So I don't have to open my originals, and I can do the thing that I absolutely loathe, despise, and even make fun of other people for doing, and send them bitches off to get graded, to have a nice cushiony chunk of money to fall back on whenever I feel like it. Yep, just to be a dick. Timothy in the chat says Night Prowler, like again, cons, great, 100% bought. Stuff like Cataclysm, Transmetal Fractal, any of that unreleased / canceled stuff, I'm in on it. But I think regular, like even to like sorry Kabar, even like a Transmetal Cheetor, no, I'm good. The gold chrome on those are pretty well. They've kept up over time. Anything that just has had bad chrome issues or a show accurate deco on a vintage toy, I think would go a long way for me in terms of like picking it up.
I think it would be interesting if they redid but like if they did them in the BotCon type of like color schemes. Like I'd love a fractal and a pack rat that didn't cost $700 Canadian. Like,
$1,300 US. But
buys that? Like anyone who drives that shit, you guys are retarded. Don't buy that shit.
as someone who loved the fact that Blue Big Convoy came out and only cost me $90, I would not appreciate that at all. Like, even if they were on like vintage cards or whatever, so you could tell the difference between the originals and the reissues. No, man. I just don't think that. I think that rare shit should still be rare shit. And
it would still be rare. It just wouldn't be worth as much because nobody would give a shit except for the super botcon guys.
Then it wouldn't be rare. Then it wouldn't be rare. Like if reissues came out, it wouldn't be rare
because there's people like you that still exist.
Maybe if they change the decos, if they altered the decos enough, then I don't think I would hate it. But like maybe if they kept the color schemes but altered the decos, I would meet you in the middle there. But
the price would drop though. There'd still be the people out there that be like, oh, there's the people who want the original version and see it as something different, and then the new version, which is lower quality or whatever. So the old stuff will still be the same price. It's happening right now on Starscream.
Right, and that's I'm cool with that, but like I said, I would want an altered deco. I wouldn't want the same deco. I would definitely want them to alter it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That's just me. And it's it's not like I picked those up at the show at cost or anything. Like I paid a late tax on them too.
Yeah, but the $1,300 for 2 basic class figures—that's ridiculous. Only the BotCon extremists should have to pay that price, and I feel like they're the ones that will.
Blame the people buying the stuff, man.
BotCon extremists, I am. Looking at you, Dakota.
See, that's the thing. I don't even know if it's necessarily BotCon extremists. I think it's just Beast Wars extremists at this point, wanting to get all these fringe items.
I guess so.
Because
maybe release the shit with GPS.
My buddy Matt sold a lot of his 3H stuff recently, and like all of it went overseas. All of it.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
Ooh, an upscale pterosaur would be cool.
Yeah, Jed says Magnaboss and Tripredacus, and like I'm just thinking like that Silver Bolt is terrible with GPS. Like, give us a Grimlock with no GPS. Give us the Magnaboss, like Jed said, or what's the other one? Give us a Randy, a US release Randy.
See, I would still just want canceled stuff, like canceled decos, is what I would want.
I would 1,000% replace my vintage figures with updated figures if 1, they wouldn't break, and 2, they had better paint apps.
I wouldn't are you talking like if they made like new toys, like new molds?
No, I'm talking like if they re-release the old shit with better paint and fix the plastic problem.
Like if they did a Dinobot that was the proper dark brown plastic with the light brown stripes, I would eat it up instead of like the other way around. Obviously, I would 100% love that, but I would not replace my I wouldn't replace my vintage stuff. I would always add to my vintage stuff, but I would never replace it. Mike, I see your microphone is unmuted. Mike, want to weigh in on this?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Well, I was waiting in the back room for 20 minutes.
Well, you should have texted me. Well, to be fair, if it was in my pocket, I wouldn't have heard it. Talton said, I just want a green Ramulus for $10 to $20. Yeah, I want my second one for $10 to $20.
Wouldn't that sting though? If they released the
not at all.
Ramulus? Because I guess. I mean,
I'll tell you why it won't sting.
The original worth wouldn't be there anymore. You wouldn't sell that for however much you paid for it.
Oh yeah, packaging would be different. There would still be some crazy out there that would be in on it. And to be totally fair, I want it to be released.
Yeah, but it wouldn't drop in value because you would still have the original, and people would.
Also, who's to say that they would even chrome it? Who's to say they would even go with chrome? I could see when's the non-masterpiece toy? When's the last time a mainline figure had chrome on it? Was it Jetfire in Generations? And then like I don't know. Do the G1 reissues, they got chrome on them, don't they? Like the smokestacks for Prime and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
so it's Soundwave.
okay. So I mean, they might, but I don't know. Like a full, with the way Transmetal 2s are, where it's like full chunks. With that being the detriment to those figures, is all that chrome coming off? I don't know, man. Maybe they'll just put a metallic paint on it, and then still sitting on a mountain of money with that thing. I don't want to say mountain. It's not really a mountain, but it's a pretty nice chunk. But I would still have the original packaging with the serial numbers and yada yada yada. Like I said, I still think that there are crazies out there that would still want. I know that if I didn't have a Green Ramulus, and they did a reissue of it, I would still be after the original, even if I got the reissue, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Even if a reissue or if an original gets reissued, usually the original falls in price.
yeah, but we're comparing like Fortress Maximus, something that was mass released in the 80s, like as an example, to something that was never released like at all. That is only accounted for in like the low double digits.
I think if anything, the price would drop more on that because now people finally have a chance to get it, and nobody would want the low double-digit produced figure because now it's mass produced.
Like I said, I think it depends.
Like I said, I think there's like different echelons to all these collectors, right? I think there is that upper echelon that would pay top dollar for that because the sentimentality is there.
Right. I was gonna say, like, let me use another example. So, Generation 2, ATB, Megatron, and Starscream. Very similar. I think like one of the plastic colors is different from the Beast Wars 2nd BB and Starscream release. I think the Starscream on the G2 one has like a gray head or something like that. It's a very, very minor difference. There's a few others, stickers, things like that. Minor difference. But that ATB Megatron is still where in a good box and everything, it's still like anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000, easily. Despite you can go and get that Beast Wars 2nd. You can go get a Korean Beast Wars 2nd Scream for whatever $60. Like there's still that drive for people that want that original with that slightly different whatever and the different packaging and all that. So I don't know. I don't think so. And that's another one of those very few exist sort of things.
True enough.
So that person never got back to me about fixing GPS figures.
Fillet them.
I want to.
True enough.
So I'm assuming it's not possible to 3D print stuff and fix GPS issues.
You could. You could get close.
I wonder if you could lock all the plastic in under your code.
No, I don't think so because it's done like at the through and through level. Like I think at that point it would be similar to like heat shrinking it,
Yeah, I guess.
Like
so.
how effective would that even be? And that's if you can get the pieces off of the hinges, ball joints and things like that. And then get the pieces back on and hope that whatever thin, clear stuff you use, the breakages don't pierce it. And I don't know. I don't think it's doable. I don't think it's like I said, you can get close, but I think the best you can do is just take the same mold if one is available that doesn't have the GPS, and just make a cast of it. But even then, like that's still, you're gonna have to kind of play around with that too. Olyfest says soak it in canola oil. What? I feel like
Don't-
he's
don't do
bullshitting.
that.
I feel like he's bullshitting, but
Don't do that.
yeah. Ugly Fat, do a video of it. then I'll believe you.
I gotta see that.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else anybody wanted to add? We'll go ahead and get out of here.
Dalton has the Kung Flu. I just wanted everybody to know that.
We already knew that.
You know, wear the mask around him. That's all. That's all Mike wanted to be here for. Was to poke Dalton. Peter, thank you for joining us tonight, man. Where can people find you at?
Thanks for having me. You can find me everywhere at Timid Giant Arts.
Dude,
Awesome.
Right. Candace, where can people find your cat at?
Sorry. He's here.
Tyler, why do you hate that cat? That's a
I
sweet
don't
cat.
hate the cat. I just like give
You're
it
always
attention.
calling the cat out. You're always calling the cat out.
He is very loud. I'm sorry.
Tyler, why you
It's not
catcalling,
he
bro?
is. That's what happens.
Oh, he's adorable.
Very excited.
Hello
Thank
from
you.
the
He's
other
very
side.
excited about his toy.
Anybody get that? Hello from the other side.
this coming from a guy who eats cats.
God, I hate you, Tyler.
Hey.
Tyler so much. Candace, where can people?
All right. Facebook, Candice Art. Instagram, Candice.Santora. Twitter, @CandiceSantora. And right here on YouTube, Candice Santora.
Sweet. Tyler, where can people find you at?
Well, Dakota, I'm glad you asked. You can find me everywhere. Troll Osama bin Laden.
I don't know how you said that. I would have been tongue tied on it. I've been trying to figure out what that was for like a hot minute now.
Yeah, I hope fat nerds blow up about their personal issues, and just tear the tower walls down that they hold deep within themselves,
That
Oh, I
you
need that
do.
so bad.
and also stock markets. But that's another story.
Dalton was with us earlier. You can find him everywhere at Daltonians TFs. Mike, where can people find you at?
Angry Mike.
You can also
Angry
find
Mike.
him on Grindr.
Hey, now that's not me. That's Dalton.
He's still Angry Mike on Grindr.
How do you think Angry Mike and Dalton met?
Or he's Bear Mike. He'd be Bear Mike on Grindr.
Roar, roar.
Ooh.
Oh man.
They call him the
You
eight-toe
can-
bear claw.
Hey, now.
You're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Take
You can find me
my
everywhere at Primal Sabbath.
Nobody
But before you go,
Don't
don't forget to check out some cool shows such as Shitcast and Uncut, Shattercast, Uncut, Into the Realm, Toy Detox, Figga Bangin, Beers and Bolters 40K, Plastic Fanatics, Beers and Bolters 40K, Breaking the Mold, Rage Radio, Fresh Communications, Building Up to It, Verbally Challenge, Masterpiece, Shitpiece Theater, and a few of my favorites, The Nerds Have Spoken, Total Package, Blackout and Shout, all queued up off the runner, Cybercast, Galactic Gumbo, and around 30 minutes with our boy Matthew Deluxe Baldwin. See y'all later.
Dakota, we
Good
played
night, man.
tonight or what?